Hey guys, this is Steve with TronicsFix, and today we're going to be talking about DualShock 4 controller repair for a PlayStation 4. This one needs these analog stick covers to be replaced. These are factory original, and this one's getting torn. These go bad all the time on these things. It's kind of a defect in them. And so we're going to get this replaced in this DualShock 4. And what you're going to need is to make sure you've got two new ones to put on, and you can get those all over anywhere on eBay or Amazon or wherever you want. So the tools we're going to use for controller repair, we may not necessarily use all of these in this repair, but these are the ones we use pretty much for any DualShock 4 repairs. Got a small pair of needle nose pliers, we got a small regular screwdriver, a flat blade, got a pair of tweezers and a Phillips 00. And then we got a plastic pry tool for opening the controller. So what we're going to do first is remove this battery. So we're just going to take our mini needle nose pliers. We're going to get on the connector like this and just kind of rock it back and forth. And I'll try and give you the best view I can. Rock it back and forth until it comes out. Kind of pull back while you're rocking back and forth, and that'll get it out. Okay, so that one's out. So then we're just going to take the battery out like that. If your controller is older, you're going to have a little rubber piece that is for the controller reset. So you need to make sure that that goes back in. It's an easy thing to forget. Now there's going to be two kind of like almost like clamps, one over here and one over here. So you just got to push in and push it this way. Same thing over here. Just like that. You can see that's these guys right here. There's a little clip there and a little clip there. So that's going to come out. And then what we've got to do is we do have to take this motherboard and assembly out. The only thing we need to do to get that out really is remove this screw and then remove this ribbon cable. The ribbon cable, you can get your fingernail under there and pop up the lock. And then usually you can take your fingers and pull this out. This ribbon cable. Sometimes I use the tweezers for that, but usually you can just get it with your finger. We're going to take this screw out next. Most of the time it's the same size as the other screws you've taken out for the case, so you don't really even have to pay that much attention to which one goes in there. And then I just grab where the motors are right here and kind of like lift almost straight up, and there you go. So then you can flip it over and you can see we've got the analog sticks right here. These are super easy to get off. You just give them a good pull each and you're good. When you put the new ones on, you got to make sure this is kind of a rectangle shape. You got to make sure that they match up. So that one's matched up and we're just going to give it a good push on there. And then same with this one. We're going to match this one up, give it a good push like this, and we're good. They're all on there ready to go. So then we just lower it back down. The back needs to kind of go down like this so these analog sticks clear the case down here. So we're going to put the back in first, kind of lower it down, do some wiggling and stuff like that to get it on there. Then we're going to put the screw back in, just using our 00 Phillips. Now you got to make sure that there's several things lined up here. There's locating pins. There's one right there, one right there, one right there, and one right there. So if you're getting this screw in here and you notice it seems like the board's not going down fully, you got to make sure all these locating pins are lined up. You can wiggle it around or move it around however you need. And once you get used to it, you know, then it'll be easy to do, but you just got to be careful of that. When I put this ribbon cable back in, sometimes I just use my fingers. I usually can just do it with my fingers. If not, I get my tweezers. So you just got to line it up, push it in there. Don't push too hard, just push on the hard plastic. There's a black line on the ribbon cable. Make sure that's lined up and it looks even. And then we're just going to snap the connector closed, snap the lock closed. There we go. Now the battery carrier, we're just going to, there's two locating pins, one right here and one right here. And there's a hole in the motherboard for those. So we're going to line those up, and after those are aligned, we're going to just put a little pressure on it. Not very much, just enough to make sure it snaps down. So you just want to push those small hooks enough so they'll come open enough to push all the way down on there. What we're going to do next is make sure and put our reset button in there, make sure it works. And then the battery goes in next. So the battery's in, make sure the wires are curled up under here nicely so they don't get caught or pinched anywhere. And then it's time to put the back case back on. That's how you replace the analog sticks in a DualShock 4. Thanks for watching.